today, exhausted, pushing myself to go to my local nature reserve and go for a walk, and also do a little bit of testing. When I say testing, so over the summer I actually bought myself a hammock, and haven't even had an opportunity to. Fuck hell, I'm exhausted. How far have I come? 400 meters? I'm fucked. Find a couple of trees that are the right kind of size, strap it up between them, have a go, sit down, have a coffee, and a nibble as well. So that's the plan for this afternoon. A couple of videos up here over the years. Of course, there was the infamous Man vs Reindeer, a spoof on Man vs Wild. That was pretty fun. That she Aldi reshared. It's pretty fun. Keep you warm. Keep you scented. Oh, till autumn's coming in. That is one huge dragonfly. So, strictly speaking, I am just hooking up a hammock between a couple of trees to see if it works and sets up okay, and see whether all the bits are there, and to make sure it works, and just to have a bit of a practice kind of thing. I've come out here to the nature reserve that's not too far from me. It's a massive, massive site, and so finding two trees is relatively straightforward, as you can see here. It, unfortunately, because it's in an open space and because we're on a public footpath, as it were, it could garner unwanted attention. You never know what might be in the trees. Doggers. Could be some dog walkers. Could be some of those terrible teens that we hear so much about. ISIS, you never know who could be here. So, I'm going to head all the way to the far corner and then go across the farmer's field and then to another woodland that is pretty much up against the M1. Not too wide, but it's so far from the beaten path, I'm not going to have anyone come and bother me, which is kind of what I want, really. Here, there's like a public footpath next to it that goes all the way to where you can see there's vehicles over there, and then under that there's a really long bridge. It used to be a train line, actually. It used to be a train station over there, where I can remember as a teen, there's me and a couple of guys from the martial arts school I used to go to. They would have little camps and fires in there, that kind of thing, which is kind of what we're doing today. Now, not that I'll ever be able to capture it, but there was a buzzard flying overhead, clearly looking for a rabbit or a mouse to swoop down and those massive claws take it wherever. Have a nice old dinner, which is what we're doing. We're going for a nice old bit of dinner. So we're going to be aiming for this woodland here. So I'm pretty sure within there, that borders up against the M1. It's off the beaten track. And generally, most dog walkers are going to stick to the nature reserve as opposed to coming into this one. In the winter, I actually ran my drone along this woodland for some spectacular views in the snow. It was the only day that snowed, and I was on this field a bit further down over there, and I walked over that field. I walked over, I had my drone up in the air just to see how it would cope with the ice, but I did beautifully. Clearly, no one has walked these paths in quite some time. They're keep grown. And looks like there's a bit of a clearing up ahead where I can get this set up. Quite a few bugs around, a few blackberries. Well, then what I thought was that clearing, but I don't know. It's not unideal. Everything over there Doesn't look great either. Maybe this isn't the ideal way to go. Let's head back and go the other way. What we gonna found? Yes. It's like some homemade BMX. Looks like someone attempted to perhaps build a shelter here, or a raised platform, and then it fell through. It looks like they've created a bit of a bike track down here. So you know, it's just pretty much used. I can smell manure. If I can smell manure, that means it's probably a farmer nearby who's scattering some muck. Well, I'm deciding to hook it up between these two trees. Don't think this track is used very much. I don't know how often people come here. Don't know. There probably is some, you know, dog walkers. They go the extra mile and come this way. But let's just give it a pop and see what happens. Because that's what we're here for. We're here just to set it up, try it up, and see what happens. So. Try lying on it. That feels actually really good. Now if I could sleep in a hammock every night, like gentle rock, oh man, that'd be great. Just to sit here for a little bit. Feels quite good. This feels nice, but I don't think I can get up. It's not bad here actually. I mean, I've actually managed to find somewhere comfortable to sit down. I've got my kettle on. The coffee is steeping, as they say, and there's not too many bugs around. There's a few mozzies about. So I did actually decide to bring myself something to eat as well while I'm here. Got some, popped in my local B&M, and I thought, let me just grab some kind of packet food. So, chicken and mushroom flavour ragu pesto sauce. However, it wasn't until I left the house I realised I needed a few more things than just water on the boil. So I found out I needed some semi-skim milk, 280 mils of water, and some butter. They did say that's optional. And then reduce the heat and stir for 8 minutes. The sauce will thicken if you leave it. Now, I wasn't going to do the food just in case. It might have attracted somebody, because you never know. Got the whole meerkat thing going on at the moment. But I've got a little bit of water in the pan after the coffee's steeping over there, so you know what, I'm going to give it a go. I've got a fork, got some water, got some milk, got some butter. Let's give it a go. Okay, we've got our water in there. We have our milk going in there. Now this is not dairy, this is oat milk. So how do you think one of these is going to turn out? This is what you do. So let's bring this to the boil and then add in the sauce. So I assume that the coffee must work a bit like a percolator coffee. So you leave it in, and then obviously you leave it in there to get stronger, or not. So let's be eco-friendly and make sure we take everything with us. once we leave. Now let's see how strong this is. Let's just take the tea bag out. So, brewed at the finest coffee makers in the empire, it said on the bag. They don't smell too bad. It actually smells a bit weak. That could be me. That's really bitter. It was on for about 4 or 5 minutes. Temperature's good. So being out here, having a coffee. I think I'm going to put the old coffee bag back in, so we can get a bit more flavour in this. So in we go with the chicken and mushroom flavour sauce. Into the saucepan, and let's simmer for a few minutes, and we'll see how this bad boy works out. I think we've got a fox. I don't know. I'm not good with my animal sounds, because, as I said, that was fox. It sounded like it was in the tree. Oh, it's now over there, so it was definitely a bird and not a fox. So ignore what I've said. So anyway, back to coffee. So, sizzling over a bit. Let's turn that heat down. That way. See if we've got a fork. We be bubbling. Cooking on gas, as they say. So let's review this Stormtrooper coffee then. Now, I like my coffee black. I like my coffee with no milk and no sugar. I like my coffee tasty, black. Lovely. It's always funny when you have it. People go, oh, how can you drink it without milk, without sugar? I've got to happily stick sugars. No, no, no. Coffee should be drank like this. Black. Raw. Rrr. Anyway, so how do I review this? It's not terrible. It's got a mix of something interesting in there. I think I'll probably try it with more water next time, rather than just the mug size. Maybe it needs to go in a percolator rather than straight in here. Maybe if you throw a couple of the old coffee bags into a percolator and the water, maybe works better that way. Try and find the perfect way to make a decent cup of coffee, Stormtrooper style, at the start of the Empire. I mean, there's got to have been a Star Wars canteen, yeah? Oh, I'll have the Penning Arabia Beata. Well, this is bubbling away quite nicely. So, I don't know how much of my taste is affected by this, but I can't quite smell it yet. I mean, I generally haven't been unable to smell many things. Oh, I've got a leaf on me fork now. Let's wipe up my trousers. This is not far off done. So in the meantime, let me just tell you about a story all about coffee bags. I was at work, and this customer came up, and she was like, I want some coffee bags. So I'm like, oh, in my head, I'd never heard of coffee bags, generally never heard of it. And she was, oh, they're on TV at the moment. And I was like, why don't you just get a scoop of coffee and put it in your hot water? And she's, no, it's not easy enough. I want a coffee bag, so I can just drop it in some water. So anyway, I go in the back. Now I haven't seen any, but the delivery for that particular day is coming in the warehouse. Then on a pallet that I saw a box of coffee bags. So I get some. I go back to try and find the customer. She's gone. And I go to the customer service desk to get them to put a call out for the person who was after the coffee bags. Only to find out by the colleague there is that they've just had a complaint about a colleague who's just been really rude to them about coffee bags. Now this can't have been a coincidence. Thinking it's probably me. So the colleague at the customer service desk said, yes, there's been, one of the grocery colleagues has made this customer feel very upset, and she made a complaint. The complaint, there you go. The complaint is that she made her feel belittled, and the colleague was rude. And what did the colleague say to this person? he said that I could do with putting the coffee in a mug separately, rather using a coffee bag, which is what the customer wanted. I know, I've got the coffee bags right here. And but then she goes, yeah, the colleague had ginger hair and was about 6 foot tall. And I'm like, what? Did they get, what? I have dark hair. I'm about 5'10", not 6 foot, I wish. But no, definitely dark brown hair. But she said I was ginger. Still, who am I to argue? Well, I think we're done. It's starting to stick to the pan, so I'm going to chow into this. It looks quite nice. Let's see how it works out with oat milk, though, because that is a bit of an odd choice, but no dairy milk in the house. So we shall have a nibble, and, well, very cool. Very hot indeed. Burnies. Not a pigeon's feather. Just came down from the sky and landed. And actually, it's not bad. Not bad at all. I wish I could have thrown a few more ingredients in there though. But I wanted simplicity for simplicity's sake. And also that way I wasn't carrying too much packaging. Well, that was rather tasty. That wasn't bad at all. It was really quite soothing. Apart from the neck. The neck's a bit awkward on here. But swinging here, oh my god, that was so... Now it says it could take 700 pounds, which must be like 3 times me. 3.5 times me. So I think of about 200 pounds. It took like 3.5 me's before this has problems. That's pretty impressive. So, we have the sun overhead. It's quite overcast actually, but it's shining through from up there, through the trees here. And like this, it's pretty comfortable. It's not too great on the neck, but I'm just sat here, rocking away, gently. So with this new hat, have a quick look around. There's a large pocket at the front, that's where it all goes in. So it can literally folds in on itself. So quite literally folds in on itself. And on the inside, there's a pocket for your a phone holder on the inside as well, which is really useful. Looks like I can put in a recharger in there as well. But I think for now, let's just take a few minutes out and just relax.